Morning power up call. It's good to do this with you guys. I've got a little bit of a sore throat, but we're going to power through it and give you guys today's little insight into my life and my method for maintaining a powerful state whenever you need it. As far as announcements goes, we normally have a power up call. It's day Friday or this Saturday, and we normally have an additional copy review call each week. I'm not doing that. Well, we did our student review call this last Thursday. I'm not doing any other live calls aside from the daily power up and that student copy review call for the next week or so, probably as I continue to film the additional resources that are going to come with the updated boot camp. I feel like that is the most valuable way I can spend my time to help you. So I'm going to answer questions inside the chat. I'm going to be active in the market and the Improve Your Marketing IQ challenge. And I am going to be doing student reviews. And that is about all you're going to see me do as far as live calls and trainings go until I have finished with a new boot camp for you guys so we can update and give you guys the best possible resources to help you improve. So if you're in the boot camp right now, keep going. It's a great boot camp. It's got everything you need. There's a temporary updates channel inside of the actual community. Make sure you look at that once you get to stage 10, because that's going to give you most of my updated recommendations. So you're going to be using the latest and the greatest. And just keep going through the program. The program is great. I'm just going to give you a significantly better one because that's what I do. It's like having a super cool BMW to go from LA to New York. I'm just building the Lamborghini for you guys. So hang in there, hang tight. Use what we have in there. Use the current recommendations. And as always, I'm always there on the Ask Professor Andrew channel, ready and willing to answer your questions and help guide you as you go through the process. So once you finish the boot camp, there aren't legions. You still have to take the Join the Legion quiz to get into the Chaos Week stuff, which has now been about 2 weeks. It'll probably be about 3 weeks total. So you still need to take that quiz in order to get into that next section, in order to get the additional resources and the additional chats and all those fun things that we're doing. But there aren't legions. Legions have gone away for the time being. We have a few new captains that are inside of the chats doing work and stuff like that. So pay attention to them as we move forward to the new updated program. Now, let's talk about today's lesson. Let's talk about today's idea. This idea of getting pumped, this idea of switching out of getting out of distraction and tiredness and negative emotions into the zone, in that powerful zone where you can write copy like a god, right? Now, I want you guys to understand something about me. I am not a robot. I am a human being. It's crazy, I know. I'm not any kind of superhuman being. I'm a normal human being. And like every normal human being, I have emotions, tiredness, sadness, all those emotions, frustration, they occur inside of my mind. It might be crazy for you guys to hear. I've developed some pretty significant mental habits that allow me to avoid most of those and allow me to stay in the zone a lot longer than I did before when I was a younger man. However, every so often, I still get into, let's call them disempowered states where you're frustrated, you're tired, you're overwhelmed. Every so often, I find myself slipped or sucked into those states. If you've ever been in a state like that, if you were in a state like that at least once in the last 24 hours, put a 1 in the chat. I want to see if anybody else has experienced this. I'm assuming a significant number of you have, right? And I'm going to tell you how to get out of it. The cool thing is there's a way you can always snap yourself out of that low energy state and put yourself into the powerful state. Yeah, one's blowing up the chat. We've got a ton of people, 100, yeah, 100%. Yeah, a lot of you guys have experienced this quite a bit. Now, there's a lot of important things you need to do, like maximize your health and take care of, make sure you're not eating a whole bunch during the day. You're waiting until the end of the day to eat, not eating a lot of junk. There's a lot of little things you can do to manage your energy and kind of improve that, change your environment. The rectangle challenge, keeping the phone away from you. Yeah, the chat is just pure ones now. Okay, yeah, this is definitely valuable stuff. Okay. But at the end of the day, you can optimize all of that. And you're still, because you are a human being, you will occasionally, the thoughts and feelings will arise of that negative state, and you won't be in the zone. Your copy won't have that certain quality to it. So how do you get out of it? How do you change that? Now, there are just a handful of things you can do that will always work. And I did these yesterday. I do these all the time. I do these regularly to kind of proactively avoid falling into this trap. But it's something I actually talk about at the very beginning of the boot camp. And that is simply getting a small pump, not a full pump, not like at the gym for like 2 hours kind of pump, but a small, quick pump, right? Getting down on the floor and doing a quick set of push-ups with the intent of getting the blood flowing inside of my body getting the blood down into the muscles, feeling the power of myself forcing the ground away from me, doing that repeatedly, doing other little quick exercises, swinging some kettlebells, doing some quick farmer carries, doing some chin ups, things like that will instantly get me from a state of to a state of I am in charge, I am feeling powerful. And that there's something about getting the blood flowing inside of your own body that gives you a more powerful state. You stand up and you feel like you feel powerful. You feel like a god. Even if you're not giant, even if you're not huge, I'm not the biggest, strongest guy in the universe, right? But when I get done with a set of push-ups, I stand up and I feel like I am that guy. I feel the power. It's a lot easier to do that and then sit down and bang out some amazing copy than to just try and like sit there and like make it happen when I'm feeling weak. Imagine, right? Imagine you had to fight two different versions of people, right? One guy who's like, feeling however, and another guy who just got done with a set of push-ups, stood up and feels like a superhuman being. Which one would you want to fight? If you're an opponent, you're going to pick the weak first version, right? And for some reason that carries over into the copy, right? Copy that's written by little pencil neck geeks sitting in a basement somewhere has a feel to it. And it doesn't feel good. It doesn't inspire, right? Good copy, good compelling words and influence come from people who are in a higher energetic state than you are right now, right? When you are sitting down to write, when you are facing obstacles, when you have a challenge to overcome, you always have an advantage if you can come in with a slight pump, just with a slight extra, like let the blood flow, right? And you always have the ground. There's always a surface for you to do push-ups on. You can do squats, you can do push-ups, you can get in that little zone, get some blood flowing and focus. And again, you're not doing this for muscle gain, right? You're not like banging out push-ups because you want to get bigger or stronger. Like, sure, maybe it's going to help. But the real reason you do those push-ups is to get you into that state of absolute power, right? That's the real reason you're doing those squats or the farmer's carry or the pull-ups or whatever you end up doing, or pulling, like working with some bands or some pull-ups, whatever it is. The reason you get that slight pump is to feel and to actually be more powerful when you write and when you communicate. Now, let's imagine you sit down to write an outreach and you're just an average normal guy. Like, you're going to come off as an average normal guy, right? If you get into a state of power by doing some push-ups, by moving your body, by telling yourself that you are powerful, and you sit down and you write that outreach, there's a measurable difference. There will be a measurable difference in the reply rate and the open rate probably between those two emails, just because of the energy with which you put into it. People can feel the vibes here, man. They can feel your state of energy, like your level of energy. Now, don't like spurg out and be like a meth head, crazy, like off the walls, ridiculous, but increase your level of energy, get a hold of that thread of feeling of power and that feeling of being able to influence your world, and grab a hold of that, and it will improve your ability to work. Here's another way you can do this. Push-ups are great. Here's another way. If you feel lost, if you feel like you're overwhelmed, aside from the push-ups, here's another way you can do this. Just go outside your front door and start walking with purpose. You know what I'm talking about. Like, walk with a significant pace, walk like you're trying to get somewhere. And I'm telling you, if you start walking like that, you will start to have ideas. You will start to feel in control. There's a connection between our minds and our bodies, right? Your mind exists inside of your body as part of it. If you move your body in a way that has purpose and power, your mind adopts a state of purpose and power, right? So if you find yourself sitting, let's imagine you go work all day for a 10-hour, 8 or 10 hours at your job, and you come back home, it's time to write copy. You will do a better job and you'll be more successful getting through your daily checklist if you crank out some push-ups or go for a quick, powerful walk and move your body with purpose. You'll sit down and be able to do a significantly better job. Now, I'm not a big guy. I'm like extensive morning routines. I'm not saying spend an hour doing this. I'm saying really quickly, you can get yourself into a state of absolute power and you'll win. I take breaks, and sure, I'm resting my brain, but I'm also powering on my body every single day. I do my work, and then I take my break, and I'm powering on my body, and I'm getting my mind and body back into a powerful state, right? So if you guys, and it looks like a lot of you have, there is a significant number of ones in this chat still. If you've ever felt this way, if you ever find yourself feeling this way today, I want you to crank out some push-ups. I want you to walk with purpose. I want you to get into a more powerful state, because you can tell a difference, right? Those vibes bleed from your fingers into the words you write every single time. I can read copy inside of the campus. I can tell who's in a powerful state and who's in a weak state. I can tell just from their words. I can tell from the messages that you guys put in the chats and inside of the live chat right here in Rumble. I can tell who's in a powerful state and who's not, right? Actively use these tools. I use them daily. I use them daily to maintain a sense of power. If I ever find myself slipping into a lower state, into a feeling of confused or overwhelmed or whatever, I immediately put myself into a more powerful state by either flipping my brain or actually physically moving my body. So today, as you guys are going through your work today, as you're breaking down copy, as you're improving your marketing IQ, as you're preparing some prospects for this week or today or whatever, and you're doing some work, and if you ever feel overwhelmed or feel like you're in a less powerful state, you have the option always right there. You have the keys to escape your mental prison are right there. It's the floor and gravity. They will always be there for you. So today, use this to get into a more powerful state. Make it a habit. If you make this a habit, you'll be at a higher energetic state and you'll be able to influence the masses. You'll be able to influence people to make better choices because they want to rise up to your same level of energy. My friends, it's a simple concept. It's important. I want you guys to auto apply it today. Everyone at the end of this call, I know a lot of you guys do push-ups when we do the call. If you haven't done push-ups, I want you to get down. I want you to crank out some push-ups. I want you to feel powerful and to go attack the rest of your day with that higher level of energy. My friends, it's been a good call. I will talk to you guys again tomorrow.